Rachel. James Simpson is our next reader, and he is a self-confessed insomniac and ice cream addict. He has thrown himself into writing. There are occasional wee small hours during which time I don't think of ice cream at all, he says, with cautious optimism. James inhabits an intense world of his own characters, conversing with them in some ancient glottal tongue. Happily, his debut collection of short stories, Smokes and Birds, is more accessible as he has written it in English. This evening, Jim is reading A Lark Rises.
A lark rises. Cows and pigs must be rendered insensible to pain by a single blow or gunshot or an electrical, chemical or other means that is rapid and effective before being shackled, hoisted, thrown, cast or cut. The Humane Slaughter Act. The bull is undone. Abigail waits for McCafferty to come and destroy him. Her street is no tar macadam passage between dwellings. There are no neat terraces here or regular closed doors. Oh, do not imagine what lies beyond her own half door, for shuddering will not help. She considers her life, the deadbolt that keeps her in and the hens out, the duck waddlers and half-breed dogs, the cockerel and the dunkel, savage peckster, amber eye, flash evil of his rump. You can talk to McCafferty when he comes, her man had said, seeing you won't talk to me, nor would she ever. The cockerel struts the cobbles, studs squirting clots, picking his imperious way, lifting his claws like he's done since the first cockerel set out to sow his seed in hens. She has no kids, thank God. But mark the manky cats that have litters 6 times a year, till their insides are all squeezed out, breeding for Ireland and suckled to death, poor pussy bleeding. Not Michael's to be put down, he said. You see to it. The street, the yard, the steaming midden in the street hemmed in, floors 4 feet deep in dung, chained beasts excreting milk for the creamery, for the metal tanker man, the aproned sterile dairymen, the cheese patters. Make sure you please the man that feeds and clothes and impregnates you. And the sheep dipping in tanks, Lord, don't be talking. Hurl them in, the maggoty whores, and let them splutter, half-blinded, trailing them out, burning the tails off them. That's wool-singed woman. The bull is finished. That's life. An engine's rattle from the half door. Abigail watches a stranger in their street, in the sun, in the close-fitted Wellingtons he wears. You've a bull to be destroyed, he says. McCafferty's laid up. Does the stranger's voice contain a secret? My man's castrating pigs, she tells him. He says I'll have to do. That's grand, the stranger says. She hasn't asked his name. He takes all in, like a man who knows. Eyes resting on flat-tire trailers, on tangled buckrakes, the rust and rot. Aroused, the cockerel crows. In the street, the stranger weighs up, sees all, knows her through the thinness of her jumper. Emboldened, she does not flinch, though she's not used to strangers. I'll get the weapon, he says. Will you show me where the bull's at? Michael moves from the depths as she leads the stranger to him, as if he also knows. He gave us 50 calves. Broken shoulder, she says, can't mount. End of. My husband does not care. The stranger pats Michael's head, his gentle curly brow. 50, eh, fella, he says. He says it well. The stranger will load the weapon. She holds it stock and barrel while he removes his jacket. He wears a shirt and collar. She waits. She's seen it before, the ugliness. But the stranger now speaks to Michael, her Michael, in a language she has not heard, in a tongue of softness. And the bull stops lowing, looking at her then, not in distress, she is convinced, but in straw surrender. In the humid byre she stands close to the stranger, who takes the weapon, feeling his nearness, sensing his pheromone. Michael is huge and trusting. A million motes dance then as light shafts suddenly on his hair, turning it a buttercream, like when he was a baby, and she fed him with a bottle. She stays with the stranger when he tilts and topples. The stranger stays with her. She feels his reverence, the shared after moment that could become a lifetime. They do not speak. Later, in the corrugated, raggy, cat meow street, the stranger makes to leave, but slowly. She walks him to his jeep, sees him pack the weapon, listens for the final throb until on the brae rising and through the wildness of wind blossom, his vehicle rounds the bend. In this rare moment, she fills her lungs, shuts out the squeal of pigs, for on distant hills red heifers graze, and somewhere close by a lark ascends.